Meet Bobby Gray. You're witnessing the culmination of nearly 20 years of hard work, of endless battles and tireless dedication to a very specific cause. This is the moment of truth, and he knows it. All he has ever done has led to this very moment in time. His life's work. She's either going to fly or come crashing down in a spectacular ball of flames. And, as his captain, he alone is responsible for what comes next. Have you learned enough? Thought of everything? Done everything you possibly could? He asks his younger self, the naive romantic he was when it all started for him. It was the year 2007. Bobby, like many other idealistic young men in America, had an awakening after watching the era-defining documentary Zeitgeist. In it, to his horror, they discovered that the institution that prints the US dollar, the Federal Reserve, is not under the authority of the US government as everyone assumed, but completely owned and controlled by a private group. Imagine for a moment how absurd it is that a shadowy group no one can name, a cabal of anonymous central bankers, own and control the most powerful institution to have ever existed. Even a child knows that the one supplying the money is in fact the real boss. This unelected group that decided itself unaccountable to any authority is free to decide the financial and economic future of entire nations without ever having to answer to anyone. Since its inception in 1913, the Fed has devalued the US dollar by more than 90%. It is a humiliation ritual that the US government incurs debt, borrowing its own debased currency from these clandestine bankers. A debt the American people are liable for through taxation, paying with their own labor for something the Federal Reserve simply creates out of thin air. That's right. None of it is backed by gold, silver, or any commodity of intrinsic value. It is simply numbers and printed paper, utterly worthless by itself. And then they charge an interest on it, which the citizen pays with their own blood, sweat, inheritance, and property, reducing humanity to mere livestock incapable of escaping their tax farms. For Bobby, it was unacceptable that such a thing was allowed to happen and continue unabated in the supposed land of the free and home of the brave. He decided it'll be his life's mission to make money honest again and return it back safely in the hands of the people. He founded the American Open Currency Standard in 2008, an organization for promoting alternative, decentralized, and free market currencies. He collaborated with his personal hero, U.S. Congressman and presidential candidate Dr. Ron Paul, the only major politician with the same mission of auditing the Federal Reserve and returning the U.S. dollar to the American people. By Dr. Paul's invitation, Bobby became a congressional expert, speaking in the United States Congress as an expert witness on financial services and parallel currencies.
And now we'll go to Mr. Gray.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Rob Gray, and I was asked to testify today on the theory of competing currencies and the practical challenges that make such a theory difficult or impossible to implement. For nearly 5 years now, I've successfully directed the American Open Currency Standard.
Bobby became a big believer in precious metals as the perfect commodity for exchange. After all, it is what all the major civilizations used for thousands of years, just before the inception of the fiat system imposed by the Fed. He chose silver above gold to make it more accessible and affordable for everyday use. For more than 15 years, Bobby ran one of America's most prolific private mints, producing numerous silver coins of international renown. This was not just about silver bullion, but also about encouraging a more discerning public, as each coin illustrated an important historical, financial, or even political lesson. It was during this time that the American Open Currency Standard, in collaboration with MJB Monetary Metals, made a commemorative bronze coin of this novel digital token all the tech bros were getting excited about. All they had to go on was the double-stroked capital B at the center, and the need to have the design contain digital, futuristic elements. Artistic liberties were taken by their designer, adding intrinsic circuit board imagery to integrate and complete the overall image. Bobby didn't know at the time, but he had actually just produced what would become the most widely recognized image of the Bitcoin coin. Only now, looking back, it is clear that fate was trying to nudge him into a direction he was not yet ready to go. Bobby noticed a concerning trend. Year upon year, the enthusiasm for silver bullion seemed to be waning, and what was worse, the very nail in the proverbial coffin, he noticed his customers kept getting older, and yet there were absolutely no young people to replace them. A definite generational shift had occurred. The new generations use their mobile phones and electronic devices to do business, to pay and trade, all of it online. He was betting against progress and convenience, a losing battle, no matter how noble his intentions. Bobby had the chance to get in on Bitcoin far earlier than most, but declined, as it seemed like a passing fad, not a millennia-old tangible asset, as proper money should be. He realized then he had failed to adapt with the times. He was trying to sell people on the horse and carriage, when the youth were already looking to the stars and the new rocket ships to take them there. As a foremost expert on the matter, able to discern the integral components that would make for an honest money alternative, Bobby studied Satoshi Nakamoto's original white paper for Bitcoin and recognized instantly its superiority as a peer-to-peer exchange for its security and practicality, but most of all, its honesty. Here was a level of transparency never seen before. Every single coin is accounted for, when and how it is moved, and where it is held. This is where gold and silver fell flat. There was no way to know exactly how much of it there really was, and the fact that the elite already hoarded most of it. Bobby had an epiphany. There were the gentle whispers of fate. This time, he was ready. All he had to do was find a way to combine his philosophy of honest money with this ultra-advanced, decentralized, and accountable technology that is blockchain. He could actually make it happen, actually fulfill his life's mission. As he was familiarizing himself with this new blockchain technology, Bobby first did what came naturally, what he knew best. He combined what he learned about blockchain with his coin minting expertise and created one of the first ever cold storage coins, allowing people to safeguard their crypto on a hacking and tamper-proof physical coin. Once he knew the technology inside out, Bobby decided he would create digital silver, the cheaper, more accessible version of Bitcoin's digital gold. Again, just as he did for decades minting coins, knowing silver to be the coin of the common man. His crypto will not be the exclusive playground of the rich, central banks, or controlled by state-funded minting operations by predatory governments. No. His will be the honest, peer-to-peer exchange of the average citizen hitherto locked out of the game. Utility, ease of use, and practicality is the name of the game. As a prerequisite, Bobby created a peer-to-peer cryptocurrency that can be traded on crypto exchanges. For more convenient exchanges, the best option was a Litecoin clone, Layer 1 blockchain, with its 3 times faster confirmation and transaction speeds. Having studied all the major cryptos in the market, Bobby created a very specific list of criteria he must implement to engineer his attempt at the most honest of cryptos. Firstly, he implemented a permission-required closed network mining system, meaning you require a verification code to join the network. Naturally, this is to prevent powerful groups with unlimited resources to overwhelm, take control of, or crash the system. Shares in the mine are capped at 9 units per person, again, to prevent disproportionate control by powerful institutions. TexitCoin, we'll get back to the name and the meaning behind it, was launched with no initial coin offering or hidden investors. It is entirely community funded. This is to prevent the sad state of affairs where most cryptos launch with a disproportionate amount of its coins already owned by hidden groups. This is not decentralized, and in fact, the driving force behind the dreaded pump and dump phenomena. TexitCoin, or TXC, is driven by community mining. The engine is that of the individual miner, simply doing what is in his or hers best interest. The grassroots, decentralized and community-driven approach reaches beyond your typical crypto or tech bro crowd, creating enthusiasm and participation in rural communities which have traditionally been indifferent to crypto. Any kind of elitism is scrapped to include the widest swath of humanity possible, as a people's currency should. So why call it TexitCoin? Well, Texit refers to Texas exit. Exit from what? An exit from the fiat, debt-based monetary system. And why Texas? The answer is that Texas is the capital of crypto in the US. Texas has a GDP comparable to that of Australia, and with its own independent power grid, produces the biggest and cheapest power supply in the country. Perfect for crypto mining. Elon Musk, Samsung, Apple, and Nvidia have all set up or is in the process of setting up factories in Texas, emerging as a major hub for tech, crypto, AI, and advanced microchips. To protect himself and everyone involved, Bobby went to extreme pains to make the operation as transparent as possible. Every detail about the daily operations of TXC, every number, chart, and statistic can be viewed in real time on the TXC dashboard and Explorer on their website. There are no hidden aspects. Bobby even does weekly video calls to supply updates and answer live any questions or concerns the public might have. Now that he has built it and sees that it works, how does he scale it for widespread global adoption? Since there is a correlation between the value of the coin and the growth of the mine, one of TXC's main priorities is the massive expansion of its mining capacity. TXC makes use of L9 ASICs miners, the most powerful and efficient script miner available and the best choice for economic and environmental sustainability. TXC's current mining size is approaching 10 million megahash, which is 10% of the 100 million megahash scheduled for North America. Fog hashing containers, the most advanced option in liquid-cooled computing and capable of holding 200 L9 ASICs miners each, are being set up in various locations across Texas. How is TXC capable of this sustained growth without any outside investment? Since stable growth is in the interest of the miners, they fund and actively participate in community outreach, promotion, and expansion of the mining infrastructure. Many treat it like it's their own private business. And in a fundamental sense, it is. Also, TXC's considerable computing contribution to the network results in increasing numbers of Litecoin and Doge awards as a bonus side effect of the operation. These free rewards by itself will soon be enough to pay all electricity costs for the mine. Bobby designed TXC so that growth is an integral component of how the machine operates. For instance, individual TXC miners use the coins they have earned to support the price of TexitCoin on the market to create liquidity. They only support it at a price they can maintain in order to then sell their coins at a profit. This organic synergy is the reason TXC have thus far grown in such a predictable, stair-step way, without major spikes or dips, as it is in the community's collective best interest to maintain steady growth. These are the fruits of decentralization, and since there are no hidden investors with a disproportionate stake, the possibility of massive spikes and sudden sell-offs are very unlikely. In a sense, this allows these miners to serve as their own banks and day traders. Over the next 5 years, TXC plans to build a 100 million megahash mine in Europe, Asia, Africa, and South America. With each new mine operation, the plan is for the existing mines to support the new mine with the intention of facilitating liquidity and growth. The idea is to create an interconnected system whereby the minds of these different territories support each other to foster resilience in times of economic hardship, political turmoil, or even war. Indeed, to become simply too big and too integrated to be shut down by those who benefit most from humanity's financial servitude. At this point, Bobby would consider his life's calling fulfilled. Having given humanity the model for a sustainable, transparent, and most importantly, honest money alternative he set out to do all those many years ago. These blockchain technologies point to a near future where there would be no reason for the central banks and any other predatory power structures to have any involvement whatsoever in monetary exchanges between individuals. These institutions that derive most of their power by imposing themselves upon the people as the arbiters of exchange will simply have no justifiable role to play anymore, as blockchain does a far superior job and will replace them. This would result in a tremendous power shift and a return of agency back in the hands of the people. These are the types of conditions that allow for the flourishing of creativity, ingenuity, and industriousness. Just like the Renaissance of Europe, it can signify the dawn of a new golden age. Your part in this is to research and learn all you possibly can. The future is bright if we make it so. We'll see you there.